And good morning, everybody. It is Wonderful Wednesday with Grant Saunders. Now, Grant, this is going out on the 24th of December. And we know that this time last year, we lost your best buddy, okay? A friend of mine, but he was your good friend, your business partner, Jim Kellner.
Yeah. It was crazy times, and it's nice that we can do this to kind of remember him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, everybody, if you haven't got his book, get it. Okay. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay. And it's very easy to read.
Yes.
Very powerful. I read it all the way over to Las Vegas. So a 5-hour journey. It took me 5 hours.
Nice.
And so I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know, but I don't have, and I am upset about that, I don't have his autograph in it. You do, and you've got a hard one, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Not bad. 1 minute, 12 seconds before the first innuendo.
I'm sorry, I don't believe I just said that. So you actually, let's just go back to that first time I really met you and Jim.
Yes.
All right, it was at Heartland's conference, wasn't it?
Yes, great conference.
And it was hilarious because you and I we were all sat together at a dinner table, and I don't know, there was something, but you and I just got the giggles.
Yes.
And it was it was another silly innuendo. That my friends who are watching this, that is English humor.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's ridiculous. Because you can just say the simplest of words, and we will just if another English person catches another English person's eye, and we get it, just crease up. And
it was funny because it was like we were almost on like when you were at school and you get in trouble for laughing in class. It's like we were both in hysterics, and everyone else on the table was just staring at us. And it's like, you wouldn't get it.
And Jim was like, he was sat next to me, and he was going,
"Yeah,
okay." In his deep voice, and then it was like, and then when he found out, he was going, ho 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 ho. I can't do it because I'm female, but his laugh was just stellar, and I'm sure you've got it on many recordings actually, because it was just so booming, wasn't it?
He had such a great energy about him, and it's weird because, you know, the universe has a way of lining things up, but, you know, he had this ambition of getting the book published. He had the ambition of kind of getting monetized on YouTube. You know, certain things he really, you know, were life goals that he'd achieved literally within weeks of him passing. And it's almost like it's obviously it's devastating that what happened, but on some level as well, there's that lesson of, you know, do the thing you want to do and do it now rather than waiting for the right time. And I remember when he got monetized on YouTube, he rang me up, and I think it was probably on Christmas Day when he'd reached that threshold and he'd been accepted into it. And I was on the phone to him on Christmas Day, and he was so happy that had happened. And then literally, you know, days later. So yeah.
So lesson here is action.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Do it. Yeah. You know, and is everything always done perfectly? No. You know, and I live my life by that, fortunately, because I'm not a perfectionist, which is why I can be on StreamYard here and just laugh as well at myself.
Exactly.
It's important, but do it.
Yeah.
Everybody, just go and do it. Because what is the worst thing that will happen is that you don't do it and then you'll regret it. And, you know, you'll be maybe looking down on yourself going, I didn't do that. Why didn't I?
I wish I'd have done it. I wish I'd have started sooner. It was one of the things that me and Jim connected with, but one of the things that Jim was very passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
He met lots of people within the hypnotherapy and hypnosis community that, you know, had the dream of going full time, have had the dream of going on stage, have had the dream of doing this, but not actually doing it. And so he was like, you know, don't do more trainings, go doing the work, learn it, then come back and then train and get mentors and stuff. And so, it's one of the things that was Jim's superpowers, was connecting people that were the right people to kind of, that person can help you go on to achieve those goals. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know he encouraged Victoria Gallagher as well, because he had a stage show and he was doing it.
Yeah,
And he said, come on and do some of it.
yeah,
And she loved it and she had a ball. And so she did it. And you know what? I mean, we both know that I've started doing some stage, and I'm doing it. You know, I might not be doing it brilliantly, but I'm doing it. We've all got to start somewhere. Everybody.
exactly. And there's something about it, you know, making it almost an innuendo-ish, but it is like losing your virginity. It takes so long, and you're so worried, and you're so panicky about that first time, and then once you do it, you're like, wow, I want to do more of this. I might not be very good at it, but I want to do it again.
I might. See, there you go. You got red there now.
Exactly, but it's so true. The amount of people, I mean, especially we have the Performing Hypnosis Summit, and it's great to see newbies to the industry. And Joe Beth talked about it beautifully. And it's like, sometimes it's just about, once they've got the knowledge, it's about kicking the birds out the nest so that they can fly.
Yep.
You know, and that first show is that once you do it, you're like, oh, right, now I get it.
Yeah. Well, I was like, because it was my first show, and I was like going, and I still am. I'm like, oh my God, they're doing this. And my amazement, I'm having hysterics as well, thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, so they're doing all these like mad movements or whatever they're doing. And I'm like, going, no, you can sit back down or do this, stay seated. It's fine. It's, and I'm like, I think, oh my gosh, God, this is crazy.
I think every hypnotherapist should do one show at least once, just because it's so different, but it's the same, and I think it gives you a real deep understanding of it as well. And Jim was a big advocate of that all hypnotherapists should be out there shouting from the rooftops about what they do, because the biggest problem that we have as hypnotists is people have these weird misconceptions about what it is that we do. Or they just don't know anything about it. So standing up and kind of making yourself seen and heard is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, well, it's very true, because I'm, as you know, known as more clinical stuff. And so in my area, it's like people see me as this, and then now they see me actually showing it.
Yeah.
Plus, I put in a lot of good stuff in as well. Yeah. For the whole crowd, and I really love that I am now giving the opportunity for everybody to feel the good benefits of it. Yeah. And they go, well, gosh, if you can make you do that or feel hot, or you can make somebody feel cold as well so quickly, well, how brilliant is that for menopause? You know, how brilliant is it? It's like it, or for pain control or anything like this. You can heighten somebody into an emotion, and then you can make them laugh as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what? How are you doing that? Yes, we can.
It's one of the laughter routines, one of my favorite routines. And I always say to the audience, when you get them all giggling and being silly and laughing out loud, I always say to the audience, now look at their response. Laughter is a real emotional response. You know, you can't, when someone fakes laughter, you can see it. And so when the audience sees them in that real emotional response, it lets them know that actually you can control your emotions through your thinking.
Absolutely, yes. And then you've, you know, I mean, there's so many things we could go on forever, to be honest, about how wonderful this is. But I think it's really important because we see people with a lot of fears, fear of being sick, fear of this, the fear, and a lot of that is to do with the smell of something. So if you can make somebody next to you, you know, you're sensing them, they smell really foul. And then they smell delicious. How cool is that? So actually, what else can we do around vomit, around, you know, all sorts of things where there's fears? It's absolutely phenomenal. And I don't mind saying I've actually had quite a few clients from my shows.
Yeah, it's a great way of doing it. Again, it's something that Jim was always kind of evangelical about, as in like, you know, as a hypnotherapist, there's no point playing small. You know, a lot of hypnotherapists come to it and they don't want to have ego, they don't want to have this. But the reality is you've got to put yourself out there. You know, the amount of times Jim would put people on stage, or he would get them to do demonstrations. Lots of times in Vegas, we'd do the walk around and do street hypnosis, just to help people have that courage of just doing it. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to kind of, you know, this is the books I've read, here's the course that I've gone. But he was a big advocate of people actually getting out there and doing it. So, yeah.
And Jim really championed people.
Yeah, 100%.
He was a real people person.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, it's so I can only imagine how much you've been missing him. I mean, what has it been like for you?
Honestly, it was and still is devastating. It's probably one of the hardest things I say to get over. I don't think I have, and I always feel guilty in saying that because I know he has a wonderful wife who is in it has more pain of grief than what I am. But still, to this day, it's like, you know, we ran a business together, but we were best friends as well. And you know, he was friends with lots of people. I don't take ownership of Jim's grief, but yeah, after what happened, it was nice that we had the summit straight afterwards, and it was great to see everybody there. And there was some real emotional, I've never been at a conference when you look and you see half of the people there in tears. Yeah. And a shout out to Michael DeShalit and the guys at ISHA, the International Stage Editors Association. We have a ceremony for when people become members, like an induction ceremony, an initiation. But also the Magic Guild have a broken one ceremony when one of their members passes. And Michael DeShalit put together this ritual, which was the broken pocket watch, which is when that chain is broken. And I stood there and cried in front of everybody. Michael did such an amazing job of doing that. And I looked into the audience and saw everybody else crying as well.
Yeah.
But it's a testament of especially in this field where we are healers, carers, empaths, all of these types of characters that we have. It's a testament that someone can touch so many people in such a way. And so I've lost people in the past, but Jim's passing has and still is very, very raw and painful. And it weirdly, I carry a guilt with me now because there's so many projects that we were doing. That when I try and tackle them again, it brings a lot of that pain back again. And I know Jim is stood behind me kind of going, just do it.
Okay, so it's very interesting because that ties in with what we were saying right at the beginning was action. And so interesting, isn't it? I wonder what you will do now this next year going forward to actually put those things into action.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I say took a step back this year a little bit. I had a bit of a health scare around like April, which is I'm constantly on the road working, which keeps my mind busy as well, and so that helps. But I had a bit of a health scare around like April time, so that I took a step back from that. And it's life gets in the way sometimes, and it's like sometimes you'll think, you know, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. And Jim is the biggest lesson to go. Don't wait till later. Later doesn't happen. You can do a live stream on Christmas Eve. You can go to bed, and you can not wake up. You know, that's there was exactly no sickness, no illness, no thinking that this was going to happen. You know, it was eating healthy, keto. You know, it was a positive thinker. All of the above, but sometimes when your time is up, your time is just up. So you know, do what you need to do now. You've got to.
So quite interesting, isn't it? Like we just said, now you've got to go do it.
You've got to go do it. Yeah, exactly. And so it's life is for living, like opportunities. And again, it's Jim connecting me with a guy called Corey J, who's talk about ego, has no ego whatsoever, and actually probably one of the best stage hypnotists I've ever seen in my entire life. And this guy is not shouting on Facebook, he's not shouting on social media about it. And I went to go see his show, and I was kind of like, wow, blown away by it, done slightly differently from the way I've seen anybody else do it. So Jim connected me with him. And through that connection, I've got my last show tonight in Canada, where I've done a run of, 22 shows in December.
Yes, I know, because you're up in a very cold place right now.
Oh, the sun is shining today, but I've had 2 blizzards. I've been down to minus 45 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it is freezing cold.
Oh wow, yeah. So that must be something like minus 10 or something.
Yeah.
So that is, oh my gosh, yeah. That would, like, you need a balaclava.
Yeah. The inside of the doors of some of these venues, the inside of the doors are frozen.
Yeah. Oh gosh, no, I wouldn't like that.
No.
Okay, so I know that Jim left a big void.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet it's interesting because you did have some things to fill that void with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he is in the back of your head
Yeah.
saying, go do it. He also introduced you to a new person who nobody has really heard of because he's not telling everybody. So it sounds like he's the best kept secret out there.
Unbelievable.
So it's like, I wonder what you will be able to do to, ego. Sometimes I believe there's okay to have an ego.
Do you know what? I always say this, like ego, it gets bandied around, especially in the therapy world. Oh, that's ego, that's ego, that's ego. Having an ego that is supported, I think is a good thing. You've got to have that thing of kind of going, do you know what? And Jim talked a lot about this as well, because Jim didn't want to be a leader. So he always joked about this. He didn't want to be a leader. He says, but people need to be led sometimes. And so when we'd organise stuff for like the conference at PHS, or even stuff at Heartlands or Hypnothoughts, we organise something, people would be like, oh, so what are we doing then? So what are we doing then? And Jim's like, right, well, I'll take charge then. This is what we're going to do. Here's where we're going to be. Here's what we're going to do.
He found himself in the leadership role, even though he didn't want it.
Yes.
So, and it was his presence.
Yeah. He was authentic with it. He wasn't doing it because he wanted to be the world's best hypnotist. He wasn't doing it because he wanted loads and loads of money. He always did future work. He was always planting seeds for both himself and other people. And again, there's a lot to be said for that. So he wasn't always like, oh, here's a new person, I'm going to sell them a course and take all their money off them. He always got frustrated with that because he's like, you know, he says people take the shiny courses, not the courses that are going to help them. They just do the ones that they think that they should do. So, you know, he was a big advocate of actually, you know, taking action, doing work, earn the money, then do the course. What you learn from that, apply it. Don't just go on the course and then go, that's great, I've now got a workbook that I'm going to do nothing with. Apply it into your practice, apply it into your stage shows, apply it into your business. And then when you earn more money from that, then spend that money on more training. Don't just,
I agree.
Don't just spend the money. Yeah.
I agree. And I will always be grateful to you, Grant. It was you and Jeff, who Jeff Bennett, who actually said to me, because you came to see my first presentation I ever gave at Hypnothoughts live. And you were there supporting me, my fellow Yorkshireman.
Yeah.
And you afterwards, you and Jeff said to me, what's next? What are you going to do with it? And I went, well, nothing, because everybody can do shadow puppets. And you said, you're going to make it into a course. And I remember sitting there with you and I went, well, no, as I say, and you went, well, if you don't, and you both said, we will. And I went, you can't, it's mine. It's my story. And you just both gave, I know you were joking around, but
of course.
Gave me the kick up the backside. I don't think they say backside in America. I think they say butt. But backside is our English word. You gave me the kick up the backside to go and take action. I know we flew into that word.
It's the thing that inspires people to take action. And it's weird because we all like nice things, nice cars, nice houses, nice food, nice things. But you say to someone, if you do this, you can have these nice things, and they go, okay. And they don't do anything with it. But then if you say, if you don't do this, this terrible thing will happen and it'll be taken from you, you know, or a bad thing will happen, then people go, oh, I'm going to do it quickly. And then they go and they do it. And so it's
I did it really damn quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
I really did.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. It's when you have a sense of urgency for something, you think like, do you know what, I'm going to get it done. And you do, and you get it done. When you don't have that sense of urgency, when you don't think, oh, someone's going to steal it and do it, you kind of go, oh, I'll take my time, and oh, the logo's not quite right, and the colours aren't quite right, and these words, and you think all the things of why it's not perfect. Whereas when you think, shit, I've got to get something done and get it done now, you get it done. And action, even if it's not perfect, you learn so much more from doing than reading.
Excellent. So now go and take your own medicine.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
This was absolutely perfect. I feel as though Jim has been here, like sat on your shoulder. You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
You told her to go and do it. Now it's like it's your turn.
There was a moment round about April. Like I said, I was a bit poorly in April. To be fair, I was working. I'm very grateful of the work that I get as a stage hypnotist. I cannot complain about that at all. I'm very fortunate to get the work that I get. It's not because I'm the best hypnotist, not by a long shot, but it's just it just works, and that's great. The downside to that is I don't say no to shows sometimes, so I have a ridiculous work schedule like this month. And that caught up with me. So I think the grief of Jim, plus a ridiculous work schedule in order to deal with that, caused me to be very poorly for a short space of time. In that moment, Jim's wife sent me, because she's an artist, and I was literally sat in the office having just a feel sorry for myself moment, and this poster tube arrives in the post. I thought it was from Dan Goyette, because he likes to send me some weird stuff sometimes, and I opened it. And it was a pencil drawing that Maya had done of me and Jim. And literally, I'm in the office. I've got Alan and Ebony and a couple of people in the office with me, and just cried for a solid 20 minutes. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever received.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
One thing I'm looking forward to connecting with Mai and his stepdaughter again at performing hypnosis in Vegas, because it's been selfishly for me, for my grief, it's been really difficult for me to stay in contact with Mai, because it's still raw for me, and it's one of the things I feel terrible about. That I would love to have kind of gone, Jim, I'm going to look after her, I'm going to message her every day and make sure she's good, but it's every time I try and message her, it always brings back that pain for me as well, and I always feel guilty for that, because she has her pain that she has to deal with, but she also knows that I've spoke to her about it. So
yeah, you're being open, you're being authentic, you're being real about it. And I mean, the fact that you're able to feel your grief so openly as well, and cry, and even talk about it on here is really vulnerable, but it's also good, because nobody felt worse from having the old cry. And it's important to feel your feelings. We know that, instead of suppressing it and suppressing it.
And it's a good time to kind of talk about it as well, because I also know now, and it happens quite often on Facebook, you've kind of got those memories from last year when Facebook brings up memories.
Yeah.
So again, it's exactly, and it's like, I know that there's a wave of that about to happen. And it's weird, because there's, like you said, there is a strength in being vulnerable, and that's what this process has taught me. And I was always a controlled type of person, because we're British, that's what we do, and Jim's grief was the first time I felt, I mean, I lost my mum going to a show and still went on to do the show, and so for me, I always thought like, I don't get affected by those types of things. And then the Jim thing just hit, but it taught me that it is okay to be vulnerable. There is a strength in that, and so, it's okay to feel the feelings.
Yeah, and maybe that was what you had to learn.
Yeah.
It's so we thank you, Jim, as well, for causing action for Grant to feel his feelings. It's like, cheers, buddy.
$1 million would have been a better lesson, I think. Jim, if you're there, maybe
I could have done without that one.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Rather than feeling feelings, I'd sooner feel like Egyptian cotton. Cheers, Jim. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Thanks. Your life sucks. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do you know what? I hope people do have time to watch this, and they can see. And Jim would probably be laughing at this as well. He probably is.
Yeah. It's really weird. I mean, just there's certain things that happen that Jim would have just, like his funeral, his memorial service. I don't know if I told you, but I ended up in a bit of a ruckus.
Yes, I do know there was a
yes. So and it's, again, I was emotional, and then someone was saying some stuff, and I'm like, you're not doing that at Jim's memorial service. So I'm like, straight. Bear in mind, we're live streaming it straight down the front, out the back, and on the live, you can just hear screams and shouts coming from the foyer. And at the time, I felt terrible, but then I thought, you know what, Jim would have absolutely loved that. So yeah, so I think I'm going to put it in my will that at my funeral, I'm going to pay someone to stand up and go, "This is all wrong."
No.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a nice service.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for being on here, and we send our love to Mia and Maya and to daughter, their daughter, and and just prayers to for and for you, because I know it is we know you've just been open about it. So it will always be hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
I don't know if I ever want the pain to go away, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? It's a constant reminder, and that pain reminds me that I need to work harder.
Yeah, there you go. Take action. Exactly. And I think that needs to be our biggest takeaway for you, for everybody watching this. Take action now.
Now, exactly. Don't wait.
Yeah. Awesome. So thanks for being on here, Grant, and thanks for watching, everybody. It's goodbye from me, Claudia Ricard, and it's goodbye from Grant Saunders. So take care, everybody. Bye now. Bye.